Okay. I just want to say, thank you, God. It's so disgusting how these perps utilize some of the stories that's happening in the world. That's really sad to get inspired for the characters they've created for themselves. But it's okay. I think that's where I have to be thankful, and I have to be strong and put reality in my face because they're really just trying to push this fantasized reality, and they have compromised their own children. It's so disgusting. But listen, I know what the future holds for them. I know what the future holds for these perps. They're thinking so much of the short term benefit and completely sacrifice their own kids, which is okay. Um, Let me just start by saying what's happening here. I'm what you call a test subject. I'm a target individual. Um, and I use, well, they're messing with me right now. And I'm being used as a test subject. The government is utilizing men, women, and children from all around the world to develop this technology. And we're just guinea pigs. But part of the technology comes with a support system to support the technology. It's like they want us to see ourselves in different fashion, maybe perhaps to make it look less of the disturbingness as it is and paint themselves as the protectors and something else. And it's so disgusting because you realize that they are really what they're projecting onto us. And for me, it's been disgusting to see people who think that I will ever let this false reality put together. Matter of fact, it's my purpose to put that in their faces, and they've been humiliated by the reality. They paint the target individual as the predator, when in reality, they are the predators. They paint themselves as the prey, as they are the predators. It's so disgusting. And that's why it's been about. It's been a lot of projection of reality, and they excite these kids. For me, I'm being told that they're having children acting like they're victims of rape or non-consensual things. With me, for me, I've warned them. If they approach me with these behaviors of method acting, it will be bad. I will behave like somebody who is aware that these people are trying to frame me and playing a character where they present themselves as victims. However, my reaction is going to be based on that. If they think I'm going to be a polite individual and being pacific, and allow this thing to happen like that in front of me, it's not. What has disturbed me the most is, I've understood as kids, you crave for appraisal, or not appraisal, but approval and being praised. You love that. If you don't know who you are, you can be influenced easily. That's why, I myself as a teenager, I was very influenced by my friends more than before. I did things that I didn't want to do, but I did it because my friends were part of it. That's the mind of like group thinking of a child. It's even more than adults. So for me, what has disturbed me is that I'm employed by people who are definitely benefiting from this. They didn't put me in this program. I was already put in this program, but they are thanking these kids and praising them for that. And this teenage looking for approval and praises and want to be like, they feel like they feel heroic almost for doing what they do, because there's this executive and these people there thanking them so much, and this group of people who present themselves as feminists. I was like, thank you for being hero, you're such a hero. So nasty. The hero for what? Presenting themselves as victims. It's so disgusting. And then they play this role like, yeah, we're just analyzing, this guy's a predator, he's a pedophile, when in reality, they're just painting me in this fashion. They're manipulating my brain in this fashion. And they play like the protectors. They're changing people's brain to have these experiences and then act like they're just observing them. In a program where they literally torture children. Kids are literally test subject too. And they play this, it's so nasty. So for me, my rage is not only what they're doing to me. It's like I know these people are here negating the torture of children and then play themselves as victims, as praise, and then play fierce. Act like what they're doing is a fierce thing. And no, trash you involved in a program that torture women and children. You're praying, you're acting like a victim. The entities running this program are filled with pedophiles. You can't even say the name of a man who was allegedly raping 14-year-old kid in my face. And then you have kids pretending they're getting raped. There's a story that came out where I just heard it, right? And I know every time there's things of that nature, they try to project that onto me. And actually, the alleged person who did that has a similar name as me, not exactly my name. And this is so sad. They found a car with a body of a child that's 15 years old. The body has been in the car for a while and was dismembered. And they say this singer, who's 20 years old, is the guy who allegedly did that. The kid was only 15 years old. The singer is a 20-year-old. The singer was 20 years old, but they met when the kid was only 12 or 13 years old. And I think the singer was either 17 or 18 years old. The singer got the kid to leave wherever she was at 12 or 13 because they were chatting on some kind of thing, which they say they do the same thing similar here, where they're pretending I'm chatting on some kind of chatting system. I don't even know which one it is. In the story, they talk about the Discord chat. I don't know what Discord chat. I've seen it because there's a streamer who talk about Discord, but I don't even, not a singer, somebody who's like a streamer or some sort. That's the only reason I have heard of Discord. I don't think I've ever been on Discord. I think the only I've seen Twitch because of this streamer, but that's it. Anyways, he was able to get the girl who's at the point of 12 or 13 to leave home and be with him. The guy at that point is 17 or 18 years old. This is like a senior in high school, finishing high school. First of all, that alone is kind of what does a senior in high school, or anybody in high school, do? Where do they meet the 12, 13-year-old? So sad. So now they try to project that onto me and try to take stories where they try to make me think of and try to see that's wrong. You see, they were like too much. Like, first of all, a few years difference at that point is different. There's a difference between a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old. There's even a difference between a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old mentally, because those at that age, like a year just changes. You grow faster in mentally. Now they try to break. The reason why I say that is because when I was 20-year-old, I dated somebody who was like 3 years younger than me. She was finishing up, and I was, 3 years older than her. At one point, we were in high school at the same time. By that point, I finished high school, and she's finishing high school. We have 3 years apart. And they try to connect this together. Like, you see, it's like, can you imagine? And today they tell me they're filming me with some 17-year-old. And like, you see, but I remember when you were like 20, it's like, I was with somebody who's 3 years younger than me. We were in high school at the same time. Do you think I'm going to let you live your fantasy? This is people that when I just finished high school, they're finishing high school. It's not somebody who's in middle school. And then they try to make me think, and all these people are there, and they make me think of like when there was my friend was with somebody, and we're all young adults, like just finished high school, just beginning of college. That gap where there's almost like that transitioning from high school to college, where there's like we're very close. They tried to bring that. So there was, my best friend was with somebody who was 18. My best friend's like 20 years old. And her friend was like, she wanted double date. So I ended up going double date with the friend. They're graduating high school. We're in college. So we're early college too, huh? We're just, so and they graduation day where they like, one is 18 or what. They try to talk about this and we're like 21. To try to say, you see the difference. Jesus. Now listen, obviously what I'm saying here doesn't mean, and by the way, these people are still alive and living. I'm like, hey, go talk to my victims. Ask them about me. Had they been victimized by me? They're alive. It's clowns. And today they have kids in high school, whatever. It's trying to be like, you see, that's proof because when back in like 2009, do you remember in 2008? And the honking and all of that is meant to push the storylines. These clowns working for top tier pedophiles try to relate the story of a child that was dismembered, who's 15 years old in the car, that was dismembered by potentially this guy who's 20 years old. Try to make me subscribe to this story and bring him back. Oh, but remember that when you were just graduate college, graduate high school, he was somebody who was 3 years younger. You see, she was like, it's like, yeah, no, but yeah, you're Drake. Yeah, come on with these dumbass stories. Delusional clowns. These fuckers who can't even say Roy Moore, a man that was 30 years old picking up 14-year-old kids. And then taking the story of this 15-year-old that's been found in pieces. That was with somebody who's 20 years old. I'm not going to allow these clowns in this delulu fictional reality to make it look like they're analyzers. Bring this retarded teenager near me and it's going to be a problem. I promise you. You're going to become a prey because you're going to act like you're a victim. You're going to be a prey because you're going to act like you're with me. In front of me, and please, on top of that, like I'm going to let that shit, let that happen. Like I'm going to let you live your fictional reality, that you utilize the story of these poor kids that got killed to help you method act. Where there's kids today getting kidnapped, raped by these men. And then try to put these things together now. But, when you were like 20, you were somebody 3 years younger. 3 years? You know who's 3 years younger to me now? Can you imagine? I was in high school with the same people that you're talking about. And then they're like, yeah, but you see, that's still like, they only had like 5 years gap. The kid was 12 years old when they met. The guy was like 18, 17. Where did he meet? He was talking to her on chat. In my brain, they're talking about some random things they put together with MySpace. Stupidity. Can just stay strong? They're putting things together to project the reality that fabricated, and even utilizing the fictional reality they put together, using real stories of poor kids that became victims, and then present and just try to method act this victim that they create together. Just trash out the one involving the program that preys on even children. For me, I feel obligated to do something. I feel like I have to do something. I can't allow these clowns to live in this fantasized reality where it's about role playing, character that they create? Okay. For those who actually became victims, who are victims, not only in this program where these clowns are involved in, where there's children dying in it, but those who really are being preyed on. I'm not going to let these fuckers live this fantasy, insulting the real danger that's happening around the world, around this even city. While these clowns are being heroic, calling themselves heroics. But people who can't even say the name of a man who was allegedly picking up kids. You know, I do this thing when I'm on the call to just show them the level of low-lifeness they are. I say shh. Because there's the man called Roy Moore that was allegedly raping 14-year-old kids. This is another nobody. He was an ex-judge who's going for governor of Alabama. Allegation and victims came out. Now grown women saying that when they were 14 years old, this man was doing things to them as an assistant DA. There's a reason, there's a restriction that they can't say Roy Moore. So I make sure that, hey, don't make me say that name. Because I'll say it. And I have nothing to lose. We all die. If my death is today, I want to make sure that I put in a reality that what you guys are part of is this. You have these kids play this role that you know at the end is going to get to them. They will be, things will happen, I guarantee you. One thing is for sure, to expect children to paint themselves in this character of victims and be like, make themselves an official victim by faking something that didn't happen. There is guaranteed that at some point in their adult life, this will come back to them. Is it going to be a suicidal thought? It's going to be some kind of mental aspect of it that's going to be impacted here. If not, it's because they had a lot of psychiatry help. But it's clear that something's going to happen to them. Now, these clowns don't think the long term. They're just thinking about this short-term experiences they get, this empowering feeling they get short-term. They're hyping up the praising they're getting. They don't think about, okay, when I'm like 30 years old, how my brain's gonna be. No. This is for later. So I prophesize the things that is gonna be obvious. But these people praising them, thanking them, they know that. Everybody knows that. So I'm in the office, we're seeing these people thanking these people. Like, thank you so much for being victim. Yeah, it was just mean. Like, that's like, yeah, you're mean with them, huh? You wouldn't do your kids like that, though. You'll be thinking about their future, right? But these retards, these clowns, has nothing to do with them. They're happy, right? They're excited. You know the secret. You know what's going to happen to them. You know why they're happy. You're just saying thank you to them like, oh yeah, we're danger. Yeah, okay. But your children, you won't do them like that. Because you know that you might feel special today, but wait till a few years from now, you'll see how your brain and you'll be on something, you'll need some good psychiatries. But that's not a secret, everybody know that. And I put that in their faces, not because I care about these retards. If it was up to me, let them do that for the rest of their life. Let them be disturbing low lives and then kill themselves. I'm not saying these things for the sake of this trash, because I don't care. These people are being involved in something that destroys children and women and groomed in this thing. The likelihood that they do that to others is high. But either way, even if it's one time and never do it again, they got involved in a program that torture women and children, and they will see them negate the torture of children and women to leave this fantasy as reality. So I don't care about them. Not at all. If they're willing to go all the way for this character, let's go. I have nothing to lose. Okay. I take somebody out of somebody who could be involved in a program that continuously torture women. I have nothing to lose. That's why I can go all the way with this trash. I know they're nothing. I understand why they're so in love with this. I understand they have nothing in life. This is an escapism. They think they're something special when they're nothing. They're really trash. They don't even know it. Everybody else do. They're praising retards that just have nothing to live for. They don't know. But everybody else knows. You know how they know? Because they will never have their children do the same thing. Not that extent. They will have their children be shown. They'll do this. But they will never have kids behave like they were raped and play the victims. Because that goes too far. Now you just really have... You play with your child's brain. To play a victim of something, and then like this is something else that psychologically is going to really affect them. And the truth is that it actually discredited the reality that we're supposed to be protecting children. Yeah, you think people who protect children have children pretending they get raped? Clown, you're not saving anybody. You're involved in something that does the opposite. You're involved in something that prey on even children. And they're like, yeah, but it's going to be our courts. Yes. It's the government's court, not yours. You're just the bottom feeder of this trash that work for these governmental entities where there's a bunch of pedos running shows over there. But for me, if you expect for me to have sympathy for the sympathy you don't have from those others, nope. No, you're a piece of shit. Go pretend you're talking to somebody like you go, but come near me. I'm obliged to do something. If this person working in this specific industry thanking you, okay. She should have a child try to do that. She don't know what will happen. If you, this guy who look at it is like who they even try to make these people be in character so much like yeah they baited you, trash. They didn't bait me. The only bait they would be to me is me wanting to punch them. You just try to get them in the character that they need to be in. So when they pretend that they're victims, they can be fully in the character. I know what you're doing. You want them to really intake this reality as if it's real. To train them to be in the character that they have to present themselves as. In the role that it's supposed to be in. As these victims. So okay, you actually baiting him. Like really, they're trying to really like take this character. You know how method acting when actors, they have a character they have to play. They have to be like a drug addict or this or that or that. And they start, and before the movie starts, they start going to that character and they really like start living a life just different from their regular life to just become that character. These people do that. They start thinking, okay, I gotta really take that. Okay, I really baited him. And these people say, you baited them, come on. And they excite them. Knowing them well, like, he will bunch the shit out of them if they come near him. I will not allow this trash. For this 15-year-old that they found in pieces, rest in peace. This is sad. I hope this man responsible for that goes to jail. But for this trash using the story of these poor victims to get into the character they're supposed to be into. If I see you, I'm obliged. For those who suffer in this program, and for the stories that you've taken from these real victims to stay in character, I have to. And for the parents who will allow them good, be the trashy parents that you're supposed to be. Make your kids call them heroes for pretending they're getting raped when you know there's kids actually going through this for real. You're taking the stories that you twist together. If I victimize it, go talk to them. They're alive. Go ask them, how did you survive? This guy here, how was the survival? Some of them I talked to them. I try to. It's like, what the hell this guy's talking? Man, I haven't talked to him since 2008. What is he out here talking to me? And by the way, that's so stupid. There's one they will try to mess me with, but I forgot that the stupid, immature guy I was. After I broke up with the girl who's 3 years younger than me. I talked to her best friend, right? They're the same age, and I was really trying to flirt with her. I completely forgot that I tried to like get with the best friend. I completely forgot about it. I was like, okay, no wonder she's today. Like, she's like, why is this guy talking? I literally was trying to talk to the best friend. After me and her ended, I think I'm like, that's the maturity we're talking about. Of me 20, 21. Then talking to her best friend. I still have the chat. Not even the chat, the messenger from Facebook of 2009. Talking to the best friend. I'm like, oh, no wonder why she like this didn't, you know, like she probably didn't like the fact that I was trying to get with the best friend at some point. I'm like, okay, this is why maybe this reaction is like that. But and they try to be like, oh yeah. It's like, yeah, she's a victim. Like, you look at me talking to a best friend, asking about her friends. Like, oh yeah, mostly say good things about you, and it's like, and this trash, like, yeah, no, we're napped. We just this trash are low life trash. Target individuals understand that they have this supporting cast. They're supposed to help the manipulation of your brain, because what's happening today is like they manipulate my brain these degrading ways. They force me to have sexual stimulation to the babies, the little kids, the little ones, to the old like fucking trash kids. Sorry, I'm thinking about this trash there, but like older kids, and those who even just look younger, where you don't even know which way it goes. And then using any stories right now, they're like, oh, but you follow Ocean in 2014, you see? It's like, because she looked like she was an adult. Never talked to her. This woman, this Ocean, she's married now. They actually made me think like I was in a relationship with this person. I don't even know her. I never talked to her in my life. I don't even know who this person. All I know about her is what she presents on social media. That's why I know she's married. I watch her go through the world. It's like, oh, she has fun travels. I'm like living. You know how you like live through other people's via social media, where you don't even live that life, but you live through their life. It's like, yeah, you see there, you follow her. It's like, try. You see how she look like. There's a video that's gonna come up where there's like people who are asking how old are you? And this kid says she was 15 years old, but she looked like she was in 20s. People were shocked. And so me following somebody when I'm in my 20s, thinking she's maybe in her 20s, follow her, never interacted with her. I don't know her. These clowns are even taking that as meant like part of the character. Okay, you see, that's proof that shut up. You're retard trying to paint me in this fashion using whatever story you can. Even taking the story of this 15-year-old dismembered kid. Before I shut up, before I can speak, I will say everything I need to say. So much that I'll know that the day I can speak, I've said everything already. So it's too late. I'm speaking, I'm talking like I will never be able to talk again. That's why I make these videos. Because I know there'll be a day where I won't be able to speak. These perps hate the reality I put in their faces. And so they want me to. So before that happens, it's like it's too late. Everything has been said a million times. I've said it a trillion times. And I'll make sure I say it till I can't say it. Then when it's over, when I can't speak, everything was already said. There's nothing to say anymore. What have I missed? That's come from somebody who knows life is over for him. But for these clowns, they don't even think about long term. Watch how my prophecy ends up. This opportunist got involved in a program that destroyed the life of so many. That's why my rage comes from, most of it. It's not even about what they're doing to me. It's how they portray these things to be. They will try to paint this thing as something else. And they have no shame. They're shameless for the purpose of making you subscribing to these things. And for me, they even get shocked that I'm not identified as like clowns. Like, you retard. You talk about the story of the 15-year-old who got dismembered to method acts. Then bring up me in college with these people graduating high school who are 3 years younger than me, who just finishing up. and then bring up this 15-year-old cut in pieces with then tell me that you doing it, you gonna have these kids pretend to get raped for. Fuck out of here. Excuse my language. They can cut my mouth, they can cut me in pieces, but it's too late. Everything has been said. Now you'll see my prophecy come true. God give me strength for the sufferings I'm going through. But these bottom fears were the pedos, known for their pedophilia. They couldn't even say the man who was a 30-year-old assistant DA that was allegedly raping 14-year-old kids in my face. Where there's victims that came out of the woodwork saying they were being raped as 14-year-old. Target Major, stay strong. These people have been humiliated that the entities are actually contracting this trash are top-tier child porn traffickers and the abusers of children. And I'm talking about abuse, like 2-year-old and 6-year-old being raped, molested by a CIA agent. Them talking about me even when I'm like younger, when I'm middle school, trying to exaggerate what I did as a kid. Younger than the kid that they found dismembered. Well, these people are involved in a program that harm kids, babies, which these teenage kids are negating. Because they want to paint this state. They want to stay in character where they're not involved in a program that is harming children, but they're protecting children. They're being heroes. And to stay this hero-minded, we got to block the way these people, this program that we're involved in, torture children. Because our war is to negate reality. That we're these gods, and it's our money and our technology. Now these entities feel pedophiles where they are here, CIA agent raping 2-year-old and 6-year-old. That it's our money, it's our technology. Fucking low life. Target Major, stay strong.